Hello and welcome from still sunny England. It's been another lovely day. It's a little bit chillier now as we're getting into the evening. And once again, we have 3 ducks and 2 dogs that are really interested in them. Okay, so what's been changing? This is the monthly update, not just to be clear, because the last video I did wasn't. So big news, Wanderer book 5 is with my editor now, she's now working through the Wanderer series, and we'll get to book 5. It's not going quite as quickly as we'd hoped, but it is making progress. And really all I can say there is once we get book 5 edited and back to me, then we'll be able to set some dates in stone. That has of course left me at a loose end, so I finished that on, I think it was about the 5th of March. And I decided, as I'd been planning to for some time, to write Dark Soul Book 3. Planned it out in not huge amounts of detail, because I don't go to the point of working out what will happen in each chapter and how many chapters there'll be, but I had a good outline of the story. Started writing it, and the bit near the beginning, which I thought was going to be maybe 4,000 or 5,000 words and just transition to the next stage of the story, I suddenly realised that I was actually going to be writing far, far more. In fact, I discovered an entire new story there. So this means I now have Dark Soul 3 and Dark Soul 4 mapped out, and it meant I had to take 4 or 5 days to do that mapping out of what is now going to be Dark Soul 3. Despite that, I have managed to write over 30,000 words on the book in a month. Probably in about 3 weeks. I'm averaging a good 10,000 words a week at the moment, which is amazing. And if I can keep up that sort of pace, and if these books are not mammoth monsters like Wanderer Book 5, if they're in the 80 to 100,000 word mark, that means I can probably do about 3 books a year, which would be brilliant. Having designed it beforehand, having mapped out, has certainly helped there. It's helped me work out that there was going to be an extra book. And there's been some ideas I've had come in my head, and I've looked to put them in and realised they're going to make the book too long, and while they're interesting, they're not really essential to the storyline. So it definitely feels like another step forward in my evolution as an author, from an absolute seat of the pants, no idea what's going to happen next, to someone who thinks stuff through. Though saying that, there's still been quite a lot of stuff that's been derailing my plans, which is great. When the characters do something that you didn't think they would, but is very true to them, it's when you're really getting into the story. So I am being dragged along by the dogs tonight. I'm going to let them off, but not here, because I don't want to be wading through a river again, which is what happened last time, or through a stream, which is what happened last time I let one of them off here. So that is those 2 pieces of news. The other thing which is quite important to note is that the price changes are coming in for mostly for the books that are currently free. So just try and avoid having my fingers ripped off by the dogs, because that would slow down my typing speed. So the 3 books that are currently free are now going to go up to 99 cents. I put out a video with a lot more detail of that. Basically, it's down to trying to reach more readers and changes in the way Amazon shows, or where it doesn't show anymore, free books. So that's that piece of news. Something really interesting that you might want to check out, I'm certainly enjoying playing around with it, is a website called pagefight.com. That is PAGE-FIGHT.com. And basically it's very useful for me as an author, but it's great fun to play around with as well as a reader, and know that you're helping people out. And what it does is just pitches, basically has fights or contests between books titles, books descriptions, their blurbs, the tagline, and book covers. Each you can choose which category you want to actually have the competition in, and then you make your choice of which of the 2 you like the most. To begin with, you just get book titles. Once you've done, I think it's about 10, you get taglines, and it moves on, and it's surprisingly addictive. And it's really interesting. As an author, I'm getting some insights through feedback of my own books, but just going through and seeing what I do and don't like of the stories, or just which ones catch my attention. It's really instructive. But as I say, I think as a reader it'd be really interesting as well. And if you like helping out authors, it certainly does that. Because it's one of the best ways for us to get an idea of whether our covers or our taglines or the like are actually going to draw people in. Obviously you've got to have a decent book behind it, otherwise it's not going to be much use. But you can have the best book in the world, and if you can't get people to actually look at it, then you're never actually going to get anyone to know how good it is. So that is that piece of information. I did write some notes, and as usual I decided to do the update without actually having brought them with me. So I think that's the main thing. The other thing, as I say, is that Dark Souls 3 is going to continue. Hopefully by the next update I might be up to 70 or 80,000 words. I could even be close to finishing it, which would be absolutely amazing. And that's it. There's a couple of other bits and pieces going on which I can't really talk about too much yet, not because they're secret, just because they're not really ready. But there will definitely be more updates there the next time. I guess the one thing that's worth mentioning is I'm working on is for the free book library. I'm working on putting everything into a single file, so that you'll be able to get all 4, if you signed up to the mailing list, you'll be able to get all 4 novels and all 6 short stories by downloading just one file. Just playing around with a little bit of software there. Whoa, the sun's gone in and it's gone very dark, and I haven't got a coat, so this could be an interesting walk. So that's it for this month. As I say, it was lovely and warm here in England. This is quite changeable, but it is only the start of April. I have to remind myself of that. So well, it's still beautiful. It's still lovely. I just hope it's not going to start pouring down. But from kind of nice England, it's goodbye, and I'll see you next time.